in or ask them to give me their information before the end of the meeting. But I do want to thank everyone for coming out this evening and joining the virtual meeting. Kind of new, I guess, to me. I'm not sure how many of you it's new to, but for me, it's new this year. So I've had my challenges. So just let me know if you experienced any trouble or anything getting on, and we'll try to work those kinks out for future meetings and things. For those of you who haven't talked to me, spoken to me on the phone, or communicated with me via email, my name is Tamira Addison. I'm the property manager for Arbors at Silver Trails. I think I've been managing that since early last year, so not too long. My history is I've been in the industry almost 20 years, managing HOAs, condos, condo offices, and things of that nature. So I do have a bit of a history. Right now, I manage like 12 properties. Three of them are developer, including yours. So, Mr. Michael. Good evening, Mr. Michael J. If you give me your last name or type it in for me so I can sign you in, I would greatly appreciate that. Or I can get it at the end of the meeting. But just and you guys know you can reach me via email or by phone. Tracy Leonard is on the video conference as well. She's my division leader. So if you can't reach me, or even if you have a complaint or so, please feel free to reach out to Tracy, and she'll be able to assist you. And just to go into the agenda, and put that up for you so I can share my documents with you. Hold on a second. And the person that just signed on, I can't see the list right now, but I'll get your information before you leave the meeting this evening, just so I can sign you in. Okay, so we'll go on to the report and the budgets. You guys, I know you guys have a lot of questions about the developer and when they're gonna release or turn over to the association and the contract for CMA. Right now, you guys are financial only, with a few nuances with the drive-throughs, and one of those is meetings as well. So you don't the meetings, the developer has to approve, and there's also an additional cost to that. So the reason why there was no meeting was approved for last year, but I did express to the developer everybody was interested in having a meeting and communicating with CMA, the management company, to get updates and information on the association and things going on. So we do have our meeting now, which is wonderful. Glad. I know I can't see you all, but again, I'm glad that we're having this meeting this evening. Developer control. Normally the developer is in control until they sell the last home in the community. But there is some different language in your doc, so I want to get with the attorney and confirm if that's the case or not for you guys. And once I confirm that, I'll be able to let you know if you guys can move, um, turn over to the association or if you remain under the developer. I've not seen the language, so I want to get with the attorney first. I just haven't had an opportunity to do that, so I apologize. Um, the developer still owns a large acres in the back of the community. Right now, they do not know what they're going to do with that property, whether it's going to be included with the arbors, whether they're going to separate it out, whether they're going to sell it, or whether they're going to build on it themselves. So that is really up in the air. And until they make their decision, that's going to be part of the turnover equation, because it's going to depend on how many lots and things of that nature, which I don't have the information on. I've asked if they know what they're going to do with it. They don't know. I've asked if there's going to be any activity for 2021. They don't know. So that is completely up in the air. And I don't think they've really entertained any true contracts. I think they've been looking, but nothing concrete has come of anything. And your common area, the association just maintains all of the common area in the community, no single or individual lots. The model home at the beginning of the community, it's not occupied, so that's still under the developer. However, since it's not an actual resident, that doesn't contribute to your association fees or for that unit itself. The developer did turn over a few lots legally to the association's common area, and I believe most of those are on Arbor Trail. When you go back and make the left, because those were unbuilt, those were determined as unbuildable lots. So they turned them back over to the association for common area. So that's part of one of the items being considered for enhancements, or just mainly figuring out how to maintain it, and what the routines are going to be, if it's weekly, quarterly. Right now it's quarterly because they're considered as natural growing areas. However, a lot of owners have expressed, concerns about the maintenance and upkeep of those areas. So, with that being said, if you guys have like a liaison or a person that you would like to be the liaison for the community, for me to communicate directly with me about the questions, concerns, everything ongoing with you guys amongst yourselves that you want to communicate to me, to communicate to the developer, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to speak with that person. I'm happy to meet them on site. If you guys have ideas or plans, we can always present those to the developer and see where we go. But you guys do fund yourselves for the most part. So any great or large enhancements, let's say for amenities, because there are no amenities in the plans for Arbors at Silver Trails. None. So if you guys want to consider amenities at a later date, after you've turned over, then you would just identify what those amenities, or choose what those are, what the consistency is in the community for a playground, things of that nature. And you would just have to make sure that it's budgeted. And sidewalks. sidewalks. The developer just someone asked me about the sidewalks. So when the community was originally built out, there was no sidewalk requirement. However, when it was sold to a new developer, D.R. Horton, the codes changed, so is a requirement. So I'm gonna get quotes on installing the sidewalks for the community, and we'll see how much the cost is and the whole area of where all the sidewalks need to be installed. And again, I go back to, if you guys have a person, you know, that you want to be the liaison or the spokesperson until you guys actually are able to elect a board, I'm happy to meet with that person, because I know you guys discuss things amongst yourselves and everything is not really communicated to me as in what you want or how you want it. And we're here, CMA is neutral party. Right now we get our directors from the developer. However, when you guys turn over to the membership, then we'll get our directives from the membership. But we're here to, you know, see you guys succeed in all aspects as far as, you know, the management perspective. And just, you know, I'm here, so if you guys ever have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. But we'll go into the financials right now. So as you can see right now, you have $21,107.84 in your operating. You have $7,271.98 in your reserves. So you see your prepaid dues and what you transferred to your reserves account. Okay, a lot of people had questions. Where's the money going? There's no line item. So you guys do the balance sheet that you just saw, and right here, the income and expense sheet is available to you. They're uploaded monthly to the CMA website. So if you've ever logged in to view your account or look up anything for your documents online, you can see this information there. This is where your money is you receive your money from your homeowner's fees and where your money is being spent. Okay, and right now we'll look at your actuals. This is what you're spending or what you spent through the year through October 31st. And this is your annual budget for 2020. So your actuals, you haven't quite met your budget. You see the 28,000 plus, and your budget is 30,600. So right now you have your late fees and the interest income. That's from delinquent accounts that have been turned over to the attorney. Right now, you guys have a 25% delinquency rate, a little over $20,000 outstanding from what owners have not paid. So they still have balances on their accounts that need to be resolved. And that's the interest that's accrued through the attorney that goes to the association. Now your capital contributions, each time a home is sold in the community, they do pay a capital contribution fee of $500. And that goes into your reserves account for your state. Okay, for your insurance, you guys have property for any property damage. So you have property insurance, you have liability insurance for anybody being hurt on the property. And this is all the common areas. So you have it on your front insurance, your common areas throughout the community. And you have fidelity. So of course, when your board comes on and, you know, they start managing the money or whatnot, some communities do have mishaps with the funds, or just errors, that the board may make and they don't know. So you have fidelity insurance, and that's for your money. And you have your management expense. Right now, each person is paying about $8.30 a month for your management fee. And then you have your legal fees. Now, your legal fees come out of the attorneys going after owners, or their collection efforts against owners that have not paid. Again, you have a 25% delinquency rate. So you do have owners that need to contribute to the association. And that's everyone's requirement. So once owners get above the threshold of 600 or $900, the developer does approve them to either go to collections with the collection firm at no cost to the association, or to the attorney, just depending on the outstanding amount. And your office, your property taxes, uh, your license for your taxes, your corporate and federal taxes to be filed each year, and your Secretary of State registration. So your grounds contract, that's $655 a month. So you guys are pretty much within your budget this year. Nothing major or outstanding. So it's pretty good. You do have, except for your common area maintenance. So we've had to add this item this year for the front entrance, or any common area maintenance that may come up, just so you know what those expenses are and they can easily be identified. Or if you ask the question, I can tell you what it is. Mainly this year, it's your front entrance lighting. And your electric. Now, a question came up in regards to the electric pole. The association is responsible for the front entrance electricity and posts throughout the community. I don't have an exact number. They weren't able to give me an exact number of the posts inside the community. However, someone mentioned that owners are paying per post individually, like $15 a month. I would just need, if any of you are experiencing that, or if you're paying for a street post light, just reach out to me via email. I may need to see a copy of your bill so that I can contact Greystone and go over it and see how we turn that over to the common area for the association. Um, and we'll see how we can do that. If we both have to get, or if we all have to get on the phone with Greystone, that may just be something that we have to do. Okay, and again, as you can see, your reserves to your transfer mainly are coming out of your capital contributions for this year. So the budget is pretty directed to the plan. Okay, now I know us owners are concerned about the increase in your dues. You were paying $300 annually. Now you're paying $350 annually. And the main reason is because this year, or 2021, since there are no plans for development, because the developer does not know what they're going to do with the property, you guys are not going to have any capital contribution funds to help in your income. So that is $0. You went from 6,000 to $0. And this was helping again for you to refund your reserves account, in which that's for any capital improvements that you want, any large expenses, should something happen in the community that you have to address immediately, or if you want more lights, things of that nature. All communities need a reserve account, because you never know, even if you think nothing's going to come up, just like your household expenses. Something always comes up, whether you plan for it, you don't plan for it. So this is your main reason why you do not have this income right now. And again, for those just chiming in, I will get your name before you leave the meeting, so I can sign you in. So nothing has pretty much changed. Your insurance again, property, fidelity, liability is your insurance. Your management fee has not changed. Legal fees, since you're still at a 25% delinquency rate, you still needed attorneys to nudge the people that need to pay and need to contribute. Otherwise, your dues, you're gonna have to consider if your delinquency rate continues to go up, you're still going to have to fund yourselves. So this is why we employ the attorneys to go after people, because you want to make sure everybody is contributing. You were reimbursed through legal fees, so any fees that an owner is
7 years
charged,
have passed since
and the
2006.
association has to pay for, they do have to reimburse the association. Okay. And grounds contract, that went down a little bit to 655. We're able to negotiate some contracts. Still working on
7 years have passed.
again, those common areas that were turned over unexpectedly and labeled as unbuildable. So we're still working on that. And your pine straw and your flowers mulch, those went up a few dollars this year. And your electricity bill, again, if you are paying for a light post, just let me know. And your reserves account. Now you see the big difference. The $6,000 that you were receiving previously, this is what helped out in previous years. Right now, since you don't have that income from capital contributions, lenders, when owners are selling or buying, lenders require that you have 10% in your reserves account, or some lenders will decline, the loan. They like to see certain figures when they're looking at HOA requirements and payments and things of that nature, because they have to look at that, along with your mortgage amount. So if they do not see that the association is planning to save, then that's a red flag for them. So this is again why you need 10% at minimum in your reserves. So this is the reason why the developer approved the increase, because they know what lenders look for and things of that nature. So, and again, this information is on the website. You can see it. I think it's uploaded between the 15th and the 20th of each month. So if you look on there, something is concerning or alarming, again, feel free to reach out to me, and I will answer any of your questions or concerns. So that was the part on the budget. And if you still have questions or concerns, if you think of something after the meeting, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to try to go through the list of questions real quick that were sent previously. So when will the roads be paved? Hold on. Some more information. Okay. So this is some contact information for you, just as I read through your
7 years have passed.
questions. Now, the first question is, when will the roads be paved? The developer is not going to pave the road. The city of Dallas is responsible for the roads. So I've called them for the potholes in the front of the community. And just as taxpayers, if you want your roads paid, just reach out to them. I can continue to call, but it's also better when it comes from the taxpayers. And they listen. And if more owners call, then it'll be put on their radar and may happen sooner rather than later. So I wanted to get that information to you. You want your roads paved, or if you see a pothole or something come up, let's say in the middle or after winter, after the roads have, gone through some harsh weather and something needs to be done, it's the city of Dallas. They maintain the roads, so that would be who you would call. The sidewalks, I've answered that question. We're gonna get quotes, and again, uh, if you want to select someone to communicate directly with me to represent you guys in the interim until you're able to elect your board, I I'm more than welcome it. I'll meet a person on site. You can see what you guys are interested in as far as sidewalks, locations, outside of the obvious, and we could take that to the developer. Um, yeah, again, the subdivision again is not at its full capacity. You have acres behind you that are still owned by the developer. That, as it stands right now, it is a part of Arbors. They're trying to see if they want to change it, separate it, or they're looking at other options. And the option of just keeping it as Arbors. No plans for any amenities area. That would be decided amongst you, the owner, after it's turned over. And then you can see what the best location would be for any amenities you're interested in and the cost. And you would have to, see what your budget can do or how you would get those funds since you fund yourselves. The lots on the back of the property. Again, this is part of landscaping, so I just need to, meet with one person or whatnot in the community, and we can go over what you guys' ideas are outside of quarterly maintenance. The gravestone question, again, if you are paying for a light post, please reach out to me. Owners are in litigation with the HOA. Yes, they are, because they have a balance that they owe the HOA. So until they resolve or cure that balance, they will be in litigation. Now, the CMA's process for um, accounts and collections or sending accounts over. So you get your coupon each year. So you get that at the end of the year. That lets you know what you owe for the following year. Late letters are mailed out at the end of January. And another late letter is mailed out in February. So if we don't get a response after 60 or 90 days, the account is turned over to collections. Collections is of course less expensive and for the owner and at no cost for the association. But again, it's to encourage those owners to pay their association fee and let them know that they have a responsibility. Because just like you pay yours, they're responsible for paying theirs. And then you won't see the increases or things of that nature down the road. If they don't respond to collections, because it is just a collection agency, it's not a legal firm. If there's no response to that in 45 days, then they are turned over to the attorney. And that's when their process begins. The collection people send them letters and make phone calls. The attorney sends them letters and may make a phone call or two. But the attorney mainly communicates via mail. So if they don't respond to the demand letter, If they don't respond to a lien is being put on your home. If they don't respond if you don't get a response from you in 30 days, the association is going to file suit. Every owner has opportunities to reach out to the association to say, hey, this is what's going on. Can I make a payment plan? Or even with the collection agency, then even with the attorney. But if owners aren't responding and aren't being responsible and paying their dues, then that litigation is ongoing until they resolve their personal matters with their account. Because again, the association does fund itself, so you need everyone's contribution. Um, Owners are interested in a third party audit. That's a good thing. We recommend it once you're going from developer to uh, after your turnover, when the membership is in control, and after you get your board of directors. It is at an expense to the association, so it's recommended. Because right now, the only contract you guys really have is CMA and your landscaping. I mean, your electric is what it is. Your insurance is takes care of itself. So you only have two contracts out there. You guys don't have a lot of contracts right now. The trash in the front of the community. The landscapers visit the property once a week, so normally trash is picked up when they do their cleaning. If you notice a lot of trash or someone just dumped something, please call me and let me know. I visit the property once a month. So I'm not going to see everything that you guys see. I welcome second, third, fourth eyes, or other pairs of eyes to be on the community. I totally welcome it, because even when I drive the community, because I see so much, I may be focused on the houses and the pressure washing versus the lawn and the trash containers. I may not see what you see, because you see it every day. So those things may stand out more so to you. So please feel free. Everything remains confidential. Nothing is said about where the information comes from. And I do verify most of the information. So if you tell me something on my drive, I'll come out, verify it, and then I'll take it from there. So if anything is going on in the community, just let me know. I don't see it all. I can't. And I definitely don't see anything in the evening. So if in the evening, the parking on the street ramps up, I need addresses. If people are doing things on the weekend that I might not see during normal business hours, I just need a little assistance and just give me the address. Again, why the increase in the budget is because you don't have that buffer from your capital contribution. Okay. So then I went over line by line for the budget and what you guys are covering. In regards to violations, again, I come in once a month. I do mark, there are several people that are getting fined, but those may be the same people that aren't contributing to the dues. So they're already in litigation. So they're going after them in regards to the dues and some of the violations. So some people, just like they have, jails, unfortunately, where people don't abide by certain laws. That's the same with the community. Not everybody does everything, so you have to take the legal aspect, or the legal measures to force them to do what they should already be doing. And sometimes that just takes a little bit longer than just a person complying and getting it done. So we do look for the trash containers. We do look for the pressure washing. And again, I know the homes in the front of the community are a little bit older, so they require more maintenance than the newer homes. So that's mainly where the focus is on, the structural maintenance and upkeep. Blinds, I look at the blinds, I see it all. The landscape, I've sent several letters to a lot of owners in the community. Now, the developer, once you guys turn over to the board of directors, you can choose to use self-employment, where you do the work yourselves, and or the association pays for the work and then charges the account. But right now, the developer hasn't approved to use the association funds to maintain anyone's account. So they're either getting fined or they're already, with the attorney. But until they reach a certain threshold where it's feasible to send them to the attorney, then until they reach that threshold, the fines just accumulate. I think I've gone over most of the questions that you guys have. Feel free to unmute yourself, or if you have any problems, then ask me any questions that you have. And again, we're here to see, help the association succeed in whatever, the membership's ideas are, or, concerns.
Tamir, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What areas specifically are defined as the common areas?
Your front entrance, those areas, those natural growing areas in between the homes. And that's pretty much it. You guys don't have any property behind the homes that I could see on the plats. Yeah, you guys don't have any areas behind the home. So the front entrance, when you come in, when you go off to the right, where you have those owners that might butt up to the back of each other, there's no common area in between there. I've looked on the plats, those owners own up to for each other's perimeter. Then that easement for the Georgia Power, Greystone, that's their requirement to maintain. If it ever gets out of hand, you just call them to maintain it.
Where's that area, Tamara?
Not the first right, but the second right.
The second right.
The cul-de-sac. It's only like 1, 2, 3.
There's a fence there, it's obvious.
Okay, thank you.
So, and then the landscapers are cutting like 3 foot in front of these areas. And like some areas on the side, like I said, arbor trails, they're being considered as like retention ponds and maintained on a quarterly basis because of, again, the lots were unbuildable and how those areas lie with the slopes and gravel or whatnot.
So that open lot all the way in the back to the left on the right-hand side that's snake infested, that's the one that they've given us over.
Well, yes.
Because Paulding County wouldn't let them have a permit to build on it.
They had to go through a lot of exchanges with Paulding County this year, and I confirmed that lot. Because they had to do tax, they had to go through a lot of tax changes this year. Jeremy, are you talking? I can't hear you. Did you say something? Anyone?
Can't understand you.
Yeah, if some of you want to write in the chat box, yeah, because you're muffled and breaking up.
Well, the bulk of the homeowners that I have spoken to, we are very interested in getting rid of the builder. And as far as the clause goes, 7 years have passed since 2006 when that became active. So we're done right there. So we're just waiting to hear from the lawyer now, I guess.
Like I said, I'll confirm that once.
Because the 75% build out is null and void. That doesn't matter. 7 years have already passed.
Like I said, I haven't seen that language before, so I will definitely confirm with the attorneys. And once we do, we just get just turn it over to the association, send a letter to the developer, if that is the case.
And as far as everybody that I have spoken to, we are more than happy to take care of our own landscaping. I mean, $700 for pine straw is ridiculous. You can go down the end of Jimmy Lee and pick it up for $3 a bale, and 5 neighbors can bang it out in an hour.
All of that could be reviewed. You could always bid everything out.
Who is doing the landscaping?
Russell Landscape,
Russell?
yes.
Do you know how much space behind the front wall we own as the association? At the front of the neighborhood.
Right.
And the landscapers that are doing the front are also doing the model home. Are we paying for that?
That I don't know.
Well, we would like to know.
Okay, isn't that a builder property?
It's a builder property, yes.
Okay.
But that lawnmower doesn't stop when they come around the corner. They keep on going through that whole property.
Maybe the builder needs to reimburse.
It's a good plan.
Hey, build the builder.
I think so.
I'm also very confused about the reserve account. In the last couple of years, I've lived here for almost 3 years now. In the last couple of years, we've sold, 50 some units all the way through the back. We should have $25,000+ in that account. Easily.
Yeah.
So where is the money?
The money was not being transferred to your reserves previously, so it's still, some of it is still in your operating. We just started transferring it over.
But you just showed us the operating, and the operating is not in excess of $25,000 in excess. Somebody pocketed that money somewhere. It's missing.
I mean, like you said, you're getting the audit, so nobody's pocketed any money to my knowledge. So, but once you get the audit and you go through previous years of expenses, you guys will be able to see all of that information.
Right. So basically what you're saying is we have to go back and we have to sue them to get our money, and it's going to be pointless.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, to my knowledge, no one has pocketed any money. All of the money has gone on association expenses. So, and once you get the audit, you should be able to see where every dime has gone. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, can we have at least the last 3 years of budgets and expenses?
Yeah. I can
you make that available on the website?
I can put that right on the website. So
Well, actually, let's go crazy and say 4 years, because that's about when D.R. Horton took over.
Okay. As long as we have been managing the property, which I believe, I'm not sure who was managing it before me, but I would definitely, if it's 4 years, I would get you 4 years.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hey, Tamara, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, this is there. I I lost Wi-Fi at the beginning, so I didn't like really hear everything that you had to say. But I'm very concerned about the um, the extra charge on the due days that you're sending out. Um, I think CMA is needs to cut their profit or whatever they're trying to do, and find somewhere else to, get that extra $50 they're looking for out of
CMA is just getting $8.30 per home each month. So CMA is not, I mean, that's the contract for with we have with the developer right now.
I've recorded the entire meeting, so if you need to review it later, or anybody else would like to see it later, that's not a problem.
Thank you for that. Another question that I have is, I think I have a complaint to you in the past about loud music, in the neighborhood, and you asked me to get addresses for you or whatnot. But since I've been living here, I think it's been about like 2 years. I haven't seen, any letters or anything like that, except from the annual dues that you'll make sure that your dues send out. Or any letters, just basically just stating, no loud music or, rules and regulations.
Okay, so you would like to see more reminders going out to people just on what they're responsible for and
Yes.
what the do's and don'ts. Okay.
That would be really, really nice.
And if you can state your address, I'll stop by sometime and I can give you a copy of the meeting.
Awesome.
Where do you live?
At 103 Arbor Creek
Okay.
Way.
And this is George Kyle, by the way.
It's a lot of Arbor Creek. I think it's like a trail and it's a drive or something like that. I'm on Arbor Creek Way.
And in regards to the landscaping, of course, we can bid all of that out for lower prices. That could be for landscaping, for pine, straw, for flowers. All of that can be rebid.
Well, our plan is to do it ourselves and cut the association dues.
Tamara, this is Crystal. Are you able to hear me?
I am.
So I have a question about the basketball hoop. So why can we not have a basketball hoop out by the road, but I can have a permanent one built into my front yard?
Have a permanent basketball hoop in your front
Well,
yard.
according to the bylaws in there, when it talks about a basketball hoop, it says you can have a stationary one. It just has to be a certain amount of feet from the road. Placed in
Well,
the-
yeah, that's when it's in use. We're not talking about a permanent fixture. You can have a stationary one. When it's in use, you use it, but when it's not in use, you do have to put it up. You can't just have a
Because
bag.
like ours, it's in use all the time. Like all the neighborhood kids come to it. It's all the time. So there's been a time where you've taken a picture of it. My kids have just gone in the house to use the restroom and come back out and they're playing on it. So I guess I'm not understanding that.
Well, this is what I'll say. You just have to imagine with violations. If every homeowner put up a basketball hoop, what would the community look like? You can't keep that basketball hoop out.
Pretty fun to me.
Yeah, I kind of agree. So if I can get everyone in the neighborhood to sign saying that it's okay that my basketball hoop is the neighborhood basketball hoop since they have no playground, is that acceptable?
Let's see with your board. Let's see once you guys check
Don't-
with the attorney.
Crystal, don't worry about it. As soon as we take over, that's one of the first things that's going to go.
Okay, all right. But who's our current board? Do we even have a board, or is it just the home builder?
Developer.
So we have to pay in all this money, but we have no say.
That's normally out until it's turned over.
Okay.
Yes.
Does the-
And I'll
does
check
they
on that
have all the
ASAP,
property
so-
they have, are they contributing at all to the HOA?
No, they don't pay association dues.
Can you tell me why?
They aren't required to. It has to be, the unit has to be built out and someone has to reside in it for association dues to be paid.
That's why they turned over that property to us, to avoid that.
Obviously, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're now stuck with property that we can't use or anything, but we have to maintain with no choice of our own?
Because in your docs, they can turn lots over to common area.
Excuse me, sorry, I missed that. Which property was turned over to us?
We have a few. They turned over a couple, I think 4 or 5 lots that were unbuildable to the ownership. Yeah, I'm sorry, what's your last name so I can sign you in?
If you go to the back of the neighborhood and you make the left and start going up the hill, you'll see 2 houses that have a gap between them. That's one of the properties. And then up in the far cul-de-sac, all the way up the top on the right-hand side, that's probably another one of them.
Have any other questions or concerns for me? And like I said, if, during the interim, I will definitely check with the attorney, and get an answer on that. But if you guys have someone you want me to meet with on site to go over the common area, you can certainly make that arrangement.
As far as the landscaping contract, when does it end?
You can cancel 30 days, just 30 days in advance.
Okay, and what would it take for us to find new landscaping companies and send you so that they can come do bids? Because this company right here is charging too much.
Well, we welcome it. Any landscape contract or bid that you want to send over, it's more than welcome. Or if you guys want to consider doing it yourselves, like you mentioned.
Ultimately, the builder still has control over it, and until we do, there's really nothing we can do about it, and there's no point in even trying.
Well, of course, if you have bids, and I'll certainly try to get a couple more bids to see about getting lower prices.
There's no legal requirement for them to take the lowest bid, for example.
I have 2 people that are attending by phone. Are you able to, unmute yourselves and give me your last names?
My last name is Lawton, Lawton.
Okay, thank you. And the other person attending by phone?
Clint Scott.
Okay. Okay, I have you, Mr. Scott. Thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
In the 2+ years I've lived here, I have received 0 notifications from your company. The one time I was contacted was shortly after I moved in about an HOA meeting we were supposed to have at the library, which was canceled, and no one was told. The librarian told us after we showed up there. I'm just wondering with all these HOA fees and everything, how, and it made sense, like with the sales team you had up at that empty, uh, home up at the front of the neighborhood that we're paying $6,000 to landscape. I reached out to them trying to find out who I need to contact to, get my HOA fees paid and all that stuff. It was explained to me that the $500 that I had to pay to initially move in, that 300 of that went to my first HOA fee.
Now that
And
you would
I
have
moved
to
in
only,
August. So I moved in August. So if I paid the full amount for 4 months, what's that about?
I would have to see your closing document. All of that is stipulated on your closing statement as to what you paid and how much you paid. So I
Happy to
can't
dig
really
that
answer
out,
that
email it to
question.
you. That'll help.
Yeah, you can email it to me and we can discuss it tomorrow. But yeah, I can't, without seeing that documentation, I can't answer that question.
Yeah, you should have paid 500 at closing plus a prorated amount for the rest of the year for the 300.
They tacked on so many fees. I had such a battle with these people, so I just wanted to ask her directly and see what we can do to get to the bottom of it, because I am one that owes you money, and I'm not going to pay any money until someone contacted me. I've reached out several times, tried to contact people. I've received no letters, no information like that. So thank you, first of all, for hosting this meeting so we could actually get to the bottom of some things. But yeah, I'll get in touch with you tomorrow via email. Maybe we can figure that out.
Yeah, and I can take a look at your account as well to see what actually went on. So I don't mind helping in that aspect.
Thank you very much. I joined the party a little late. Were speed limit signs and speed bumps discussed at all?
No, that would actually be public works as well. If you're interested in getting speed bumps, normally there's the association. I have to put a petition forward to the city, so you would have to get a number of signatures and things of that nature for the city to consider speed bumps.
So a trash can being visible from the road is more important than children getting run over by speeding cars barreling through this neighborhood.
No one said that. The streets are maintained by the city of Dallas. So in order to get speed bumps, you have to petition the city of Dallas.
Clint, I recorded the entire meeting. I can give you a copy of it.
Okay, thanks, man.
Mary, do you know how many signatures are required for the petition?
No, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't keep it. Different counties have different requirements, so I don't remember them all. Sorry.
Pretty much everybody I talk to is interested in speed bumps. I'll take the initiative.
Questions or concerns for me? And like I said, you can always reach out to me via email if something comes up or you think of something after the meeting, or if you need to follow up with me on anything, please feel free. Okay. No more questions. Well, I do thank everybody for joining the meeting. I wish we did have more participants. There's 14 total. With me and myself, Tracy, so you guys had 12 people in attendance for the association. So I do wish more would participate. And hopefully at our next meeting, we'll have more participation. But I'll look into the items on the questions that I need to get answers to you guys for, and I'll reach out. I guess, I don't know, Mr. Kyle, if I need to reach out to you, if you're leading efforts in the community, I don't mind doing that. So, but if there aren't any other questions or concerns, I wish everybody, I can't.
Well, I'm not electing myself. That's up to the people.
Alright. Well, it's nice to put, I guess, voices with names now and a couple of faces. So again, thank you guys, and I appreciate it. And feel free to reach out to me at any time.
Mayor,
You guys have the information. I guess I'll upload the last 4 years, the end of the year reports to the website. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Y'all too.
Thank you.
Good night.